Welcome to Bible Quiz TV. Today's quiz features 15 questions about the firsts in the Bible, from the first priest to the first color mentioned. Hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you're ready to test your knowledge on these biblical beginnings. Let's begin. Question 1. Who is the first priest mentioned in the Bible? A. Aaron. B. Eli. C. Samuel. D. Melchizedek. Genesis chapter 14 verse 18, and Melchizedek king of Salem brought forth bread and wine, and he was the priest of the Most High God. Question 2. Who were the first twins? A. Ephraim and Manasseh. B. Jacob and Esau. C. Perez and Zerah. D. Ishmael and Isaac. Genesis chapter 25 verses 24 to 26. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red, all over like an hairy garment. And they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel. And his name was called Jacob, and Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. And the boys grew. And Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. Question 3. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly is the first line of which book? A. Romans. B. Proverbs. C. Psalms. D. 1 Corinthians. Psalms chapter 1 verse 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. Question 4. What is the first color mentioned? A. Red. B. Blue. C. Green. D. Yellow. Genesis chapter 1 verse 30. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat, and it was so. Question 5. Who built the first city? A. Nimrod. B. Jacob. C. Cain. D. Lot. Genesis chapter 4 verse 17. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived, and bare Enoch. And he builded a city, and called the name of the city after the name of his son, Enoch. Question 6. Now these are the names of the children of Israel which came into Egypt. Is the first line of which book? A. 1 Kings. B. 1 Chronicles. C. Numbers. D. Exodus. Exodus chapter 1 verse 1. Now these are the names of the children of Israel which came into Egypt. Every man and his household came with Jacob. Question 7. Who was the firstborn son of David? A. Daniel. B. Absalom. C. Solomon. D. Amnon. First Chronicles chapter 3 verse 1. Now these were the sons of David which were born unto him in Hebron, the firstborn Amnon of Ahinoam the Jezreelitess, the second Daniel of Abigail the Carmelitess. Question 8. What was the first talking animal in the Bible? A. Donkey. B. Serpent. C. Bird. D. Fish. Genesis chapter 3 verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? Question 9. Who baked the first cake? A. Miriam. B. Sarah. C. Rachel. D. Rebecca. Genesis chapter 18 verse 6. And Abraham hastened into the tent unto Sarah and said, Make ready quickly 3 measures of fine meal, knead it, and make cakes upon the hearth. Question 10. Who was the first person recorded as getting drunk? A. Noah. B. Lot. C. Pharaoh. D. Reuben. Genesis chapter 9 verse 21. And he drank of the wine and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent. Question 11. What was the first miracle performed by Elisha? A. Parting of the river Jordan. B. Healing Naaman. C. Oil for widow. D. Raising woman's son. Second Kings chapter 2 verse 14. And he took the mantle of Elijah that fell from him and smote the waters and said, Where is the Lord God of Elijah? And when he also had smitten the waters, they parted hither and thither, and Elisha went over. Question 12. How doth the city sit solitary that was full of people? Is the first line of which book? A. Lamentations. B. Ezra. C. Amos. D. Jeremiah. Lamentations chapter 1 verse 1. How doth the city sit solitary that was full of people? How is she become as a widow? She that was great among the nations and princess among the provinces, how is she become tributary? Question 13. Who was the first person to be tied up? A. Joseph. B. Simeon. C. Samson. D. Isaac. Genesis chapter 22 verse 9. And they came to the place which God had told him of, and Abraham built an altar there, and laid the wood in order, and bound Isaac his son, and laid him on the altar upon the wood. Question 14. What is the first jewel to be listed that was on the high priest's breastplate? A. Jacinth. B. Topaz. C. Jasper. D. Sardius. Exodus chapter 28 verse 17. And thou shalt set in it settings of stones, even 4 rows of stones. The first row shall be a sardius, a topaz, and a carbuncle. This shall be the first row. Question 15. What was the first miracle of Elijah? A. Raising widow's son. B. Causing a drought. C. Fire from heaven. D. Parting of the river Jordan. First Kings chapter 17 verse 1. And Elijah the Tishbite, who was of the inhabitants of Gilead, said unto Ahab, As the Lord God of Israel liveth, before whom I stand, there shall not be dew nor rain these years, but according to my word. If you enjoyed the quiz, give us a thumbs up. Most importantly, don't forget to share it with your friends and family. Subscribe for more quizzes and biblical insights. Share your scores and thoughts below. We'd love to hear from you. Let's grow in understanding together. Thanks for joining us. Stay blessed until next time.